What's poppin'? So today's video I'm gonna react to a very interesting video. This one is, why does the West use Arabic numerals? Numerals. I said it right. So we're gonna check it out, see how it goes, then let's get it.
Western world predominantly uses Arabic numerals for mathematics, but it never used to. For millennia, Roman numerals were used. But why were they replaced? What led to Europe and the Western world adopting Arabic numerals? Throughout the life of the Roman Empire and the millennium after its collapse in the West, Roman numerals were the only game in town. Side note, in case you're wondering, much of Eastern Europe used the Cyrillic numeral system of the Bulgarian Empire until Peter the Great's reforms in the 18th century. Anyway, whilst Roman numerals might appear to be complicated when trying to use them in mathematics, everyone in Europe had only ever known them. It was obvious to everyone back then that Xiv plus Xvir equals L, obviously. All joking aside, this had been the way that things had been done for thousands of years, so why did they change, and how? Arabic numerals, called so because they came to Europe through trade with the Arabic world, they actually originated in India by the way, were first introduced to Europe in the 9th century. And in fact, Pope Sylvester II was heavily in favour of their use, but they never took off. It wasn't until the 13th century that Arabic numerals began to spread to merchants. Some, or perhaps much of this, was down to the work of Leonardo of Pisa, better known as Fibonacci, who basically wrote a mathematical textbook which argued that Arabic numerals were superior. Fibonacci's arguments for adopting were convincing, and many merchants in Pisa adopted the new system, at least temporarily, since it was soon afterwards banned. There were two main reasons for this, which are also why it took so long for Arabic numerals to be adopted in the rest of Europe. One, the new system was open to fraud. With Roman numerals, merchants would use a flick with the last I in a number to mark that it was the last one, something hard to tamper with. Whereas anyone could turn a 3 into an 8 and make it look like somebody owed more money than they did. And reason number two, because the system was imported from the Islamic world, it made Christian leaders and merchants uneasy, who often at the very least saw the use of it as being unchristian. And in the eyes of church leaders, it also promoted trade with the Islamic world, which was seen as a no-no. This setback took another 2 centuries to overcome when Arabic numerals started popping up all over Europe. Renaissance universities were quick to start instruction in Arabic numerals, yet they took centuries to spread, because bankers and merchants didn't attend university and so were instructed in the better understood Roman numerals. And another reason was because of cultural conservatism. Roman numerals had been used literally for millennia and were good enough for the Romans, so why change anything? It was only when the Renaissance really took off and old institutions were for the first time questioned that the use of Roman numerals were queried. The new leaders in Italy were students of the Renaissance, and many, like the Medici banking family, brought Arabic numerals with them. For them, it was the efficiency in mathematics. As an example, we'll do 13 times 13 in Roman numerals. 2 columns, one of the numbers being multiplied in each, add a new line, halve the number in the left column and double the number in the right. You keep going until the half number gets to 1, then cross out any rows where the number in the left column is even. Add the right column together and there's your answer, hence why we got rid of them. Thereafter, leaving only monarchs in the occasional calendar still using Roman numerals. I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Okay, that was really confusing. Yeah, but but how they got all that together, that was really interesting. How they changed Arabic numerals. You guys know what it is. That was very interesting that they did that, because like it's crazy. Like I said in my last video, that like history, there's so much that goes into history that most of us don't even know about. Like we go to school, they teach us most basic history that everyone knows, but they don't give you like this type of information, or my last video, that type of information. Like none of us, I bet you like 80, 70, 60% of the world doesn't even know more than half of this history that I just watched, this one and the last one. I bet you, I highly think that that many people in the world did not know any about this. I feel like some people do, but not a lot. Like I didn't know about this. I was shocked. I'm like, what? Really? It was very interesting. Yeah. Like always, comment down below any other history videos you guys want me to react to. I'd be more happy to react to any of them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.